weekend. I know I did. Here having a great giddy old time trying to cheer you all up. But sometimes it's better to think hours, days. What could I possibly say in front of millions that would make any difference from them killing themselves that day or night? And it comes down to it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Doing the good Lord's work. Obviously for somebody who stands next to generals and cares about folks and writes people and is not afraid to speak his voice, having God in him, I think too with choirs and sport, foundations like UNICEF, uh, children's societies, adoption agencies. I'm a parent, caretaker, guardian of many, and living here at this big old bachelor pad by myself and sitting here, watching these reality shows on TV. They can't have all the fun, and it's taken years of work. Okay, I built this from a laptop. I get to make what Jason Bourne does, Matt by Matt Damon, a movie look like child's play with the stuff I think about outside a box. Creativity. There are people who are jealous of such success, and I'm glad I have people out there looking out for such people who don't seem to comprehend that you can't copy off someone's stuff. And as much as prevent scam artists from harassing or preying upon the nearest military family that doesn't know better, or didn't read enough about health fraud or anything else, or they're protecting their identities. There are things out there that I learn on my own, especially if you're moving to town, be careful who you rent from. They might not even be a renter. How do you know that? Did you ask their neighbors if they know them? Are they even the renter for that matter? Because chances are someone will tell you your face, yes or no, that you know these people. Make sure you don't come alone. Make sure you do your research before signing, because you could be signing a fake document. They might just take your money and run off and have you, say, renting yourself on a roof, trying to meet someone only to never meet the person, or in an interior wall. I mean, nobody in the right mind would be in a raid-filled insecticidal wall or roof anyway. It helps to know who you're renting from or buying a house from. Make sure they're licensed. Don't just sign and not read the fine print. It could be a fake document. How do you know that? It helps to have a lawyer's advice when it comes to signing for a house. Um, that way you know what you're getting into and prevent your family from being hurt or harassed by scam artists. There are people out there who are afraid to even take part in neighborhood watch. You look at your neighborhood day and night and you wonder if it's ever going to get better. Well, if you don't start taking action, how is it ever going to get better? I say that without heart. I mean, it's even at a nightclub. How is anything ever going to get better if you don't sit there and open your cell phone video camera and start taking action now? Even someone slandering a person's name who doesn't know that person from Adam. It's titled harassment. It's punishable in a court of law because that person's saying whatever comes to mind, thinking that person's friend is not nearby, or someone who's paying attention, listening. You don't know this person. Here you are trying to harass a guy for keeping people employed. Obviously, you're not in the right frame of mind. You know, who cares, right? But when that offender comes to your house and and harasses your food supply and trashes your stuff and breaks into your home and tries to rent it out, then you'll start to care. Then it'll happen to you. That's another example of what people try. People are trying to offend someone out of sheer jealousy of their success. It's important to look out for such people, even if they're female. Some people even use their kids to try and put stuff in your food or break into your house. You know, even rent your roof without your permission or take away the pipes from underneath your home. Switch them out with old damaged pipes. Those are called meth bags. Another thing you should look out for. People who loiter under your home aren't right frame of mind. Nobody in the right mind would loiter under someone's home unless they're some up to no good or trying to damage your property at the same time. It's important to know the difference. It's also important to look out for your surroundings and know who you're investing in. You know, what's better for you is better for a lot of people. It only takes 5 minutes for someone to get into your home or your car and take something that doesn't belong. Chances are it's fraud. It's important to know your credit bureaus. You have identity theft fraud. Know the, the number one agency is Experian. You get a free credit report every year. Your bank also helps with identity theft too. They crack down. Some people have strict security, like myself. I have to show up at the bank in person, awake, or they won't let me withdraw anything. I made it that way. I have a son, a mijo, to think about. Being a single father, uh, it's important to know people who care about you living here. Having family who lives out of state. The only person that lives in state is my sister. She keeps and my friends nearby. They keep a close eye on me. I always stand for what's right. I don't tolerate anything less. That's why having God in me, people respect that. It goes without saying. This is not the answer here. I mean, I say that wholeheartedly. That's coming on post, especially Ireland Hospital, Maine Hospital, also sports veterans, retirees. If you have any questions, you can write them. They even have phone numbers in the back. Nice little pamphlet here. Their website. Those arriving, that would be your main 3 hot numbers to write down. They would direct you where you need to go. It's pretty organized. Also, crisis communication hotline. They also have a veterans department for people part of the Veterans VA Hospital Vet Link. They'll direct you there. They don't turn veterans away or anything. Even retirees. Pretty information brochure, especially your wives when you become a veteran or retiree and you're leaving the military. That link would be the place to sign up at. Crisis communication. If you know somebody trying to kill themselves, destroy themselves, need to talk, for somebody who watches this health, has a psychology degree, this would be beneficial. You can see me on Facebook. I express this wholeheartedly. There are kids out there who think, Mommy and Daddy doesn't spend enough time with me. Why don't I just end it right here? Because of bullying, harassing, another foundation I support, no bullying, harassing a kid. Don't harass your friend or your kid. What if that was you? Would you like someone harassing you, pushing you around just because you're new in school and mommy and daddy are deployed? That's not how it works, kids. Most schools around in the U.S. don't tolerate harassment. You only get a 2 strike and you're out. Chances are. Don't harass your friends. Friends don't hurt friends. Friends support friends. Friends don't do drugs. They don't bring drugs on base. They don't ask you to bring drugs on base. They don't come to your door and disrespect you or humiliate you in front of your neighbors or throw an attitude problem. They don't do any of that stuff. They sit there and they act the way you like family wants to act, the how they were raised. If they didn't raise them correctly, then you need to pray for them that they're raised better. People care about one another. It's a small town here where I live in ElizabethTown, in my house. And it's like, being an Air Force officer's son, he works in Washington and supports people and keeps people employed all day long. He watches my identity and everything that's on my credit and everything else. I mean, we're a pretty close-knit family of nurses, people who care about people. It's important that you're cautious of knowing people, the heart. Everybody's human. Just because someone's from Saudi Arabia doesn't make them less of a human being. Just because someone's from Jerusalem, same thing, doesn't make them less of a human being because they read a different religion or practice or they're a different color or a different race. In God's eyes, we're all equal, at least in mine. You, the human being at heart, who works so hard day and night, it don't matter if you're sweeping floors, a doctor, teacher, professor, even the small people who put things together through electrical wiring and help people's homes stay intact, even roof repairers, machine sweepers, constructioners, engineers, fire department, police departments. People go home night and day, wonder if anyone cared what they did, or did it even matter, make a difference. I hope to God the answer is yes. And two, I hope to God you watch my channel once in a while, because there are people who stop here who have hard jobs, like throwing people out at night, and they stop here and say a prayer before going on, because it helps them feel better. One, they're still a human being. Two, they're just doing their job. Three, they're a messenger. They try to tell you a few pointers, like, hey, I'm sorry I have to throw you off your land, but I'm just a messenger here. It's never too late to start over. Killing yourself is not one of them. Because it's like the movies. You dwell in the place you did that until you learn something, why God gave you life. Why would you destroy it along those words, not just in movies. You want something to happen in bettering your life, you need to take steps and go outside your comfort zone. There's a whole world outside out there. There are people I care about day and night. It goes without saying. I mean, sometimes I take the time to write people on Facebook, hoping to God that, hey, maybe they'll take the time to write me back directly, or send a text message, or show some kind of initiative that they actually care. If your stuff didn't get here, chances are it got stolen before I got it. There's always some carnal thinking they can get the upper hand and can't. Keep trying. Don't give up on one letter only. Principle, just keep writing. There are people who are sitting there wondering why they never got a response. Well, maybe they never got your letter. Keep writing. There's Facebook. There's calling me. People know that out there is one person that will not stop, will not quit, no matter what people try, even ignorance. As ignorance is there, it don't matter what state I go to next. We're always watching. We're always looking out for people. There's that feeling of faith that someone actually cares about a friend, and when they're in need, they don't have to sit there crying in front of me, and they can just tell that, hey, maybe I pray hard enough, the good Lord's Bible here, and hold it in front of you, that it'll direct you in the right place, the right frame of mind, that, everyone deserves a second chance in life. You want something to happen, you gotta go out there and you gotta go get it. But you gotta do it right in front of God. You gotta sit there and uphold integrity. Because if you don't, someone up there's got a whole list of things and he knows exactly where you went wrong. Drugs are not the answer. Smoking marijuana is not the answer. That stuff makes you lose your mind and everything else. And you can't remember where you went 5 seconds later. And before you know it, you're throwing an attitude at somebody who was your friend, and it just cost you your job. I mean, that stuff causes you to act up and be belligerent and everything else. Don't do drugs. Even kids, don't do it just because someone else is doing it. That doesn't make it right. Two wrongs don't make it right. And just because you saw something horrible on the news, and not everything's pretty in life, that doesn't make it right for you to sit there and copy them. What, you thought that would resolve something in Baltimore? The only thing you caused was a bunch of heartache and a bunch of hurt for a kid, an whole line of kids. I pray do better next time around in school. That did not solve anything out there. Heck, Reverend Oliver and everybody else, Martin Luther King brothers, could have told you that to your face. The only thing you did was cost that city more money to repair all that stuff, including those police department cars that were burnt to a crispy critter. What did you solve by doing all that? Not a darn thing. You cost that place money. Exactly. You didn't think. Your parent, however, is sitting in front of you, showing you this is how much after a food of meal right here, how much you cost to them if they're real at all. They'll show you this one day, Financing 101 when you're 18. How much you cost per year. And then look at you real stern, give you that Clint Eastwood Wyatt Earp look, expression when you're doing something wrong. I could have spent that on a cruise or a new car, not on you. I didn't have to clothe you. And you're sitting there thinking, what do you mean, Dad? Gosh darn, I didn't know I was that expensive. Well, now you know. And you know what? Like I was saying about last weekend, God's grace, His blessings. There's no greater love than one who gives his life and his friendship for his friend. There's no greater love than a parent selling his or her house when they don't have enough just to help you take the next step, go to college. There's no catch. It's the fact that you did it out of heart. What, you just thought this was in movies? No. People do a lot, sacrifice a lot of time, just to see you succeed. Success is rewarding itself in success. Finance 101. I read a book that thick, okay? 5,000 pages, obviously not for my health. I read for a living. I read National Geographic. I read astronomy. I'm never wrong with the weather. Farmers rather watch me than trust a $1 billion piece of metal without a heartbeat. Obviously, if I say something, it's guaranteed. I have a stack of warehouse of coffee I tease these people with. I'm never wrong. Try me after midnight. You'll be amazed. Gabriel wasn't wrong. That storm may not be shortly coming along sooner or later, but it will soon enough. And when you do, I hope to God you got them helicopters off the runway. Because I hate to see that you call Uncle Sam asking why there's a 1 billion plane or a helicopter that is grounded, can't take off because the stuff you thought was working correctly just got fried by an electrical storm. And tried to tell you a storm was coming. Must have been delayed. God, don't you just like that? Got swallowed by a bird. Also, book club. Here's a familiar book. Do you know who that is? Some mouths are dropping. That's right. Do you know what's special about this book? There was a movie based on it. I never saw the movie, man, but sooner or later I'll have it in my collection. I'll see it. I'm reading your book, Your Husband's Life, right here. Who's that right there? That's Chris Kyle, don't you forget. That guy gave his life for this country. He's killed in the line of duty caring for his whole family. Now, you see that part right there? What's the difference between every other book at Barnes and Nobles or bookstore or library that separates this book and makes it unique? See that song? There's a song I go by right there. It's the holy grail of all songs. Everything that ever even gave a principle, anything that even made you get out of bed for being military. Hubba, hubba, hubba. It would make Robin Williams want to get up and say, hallelujah, God praise. It's not just me anymore in Good Morning Vietnam, the movie. When that soldier gets up, he'll tell you your face, is it morning yet? Chances are someone will be sitting there who cares about him, like my aunt, who's a nurse also. God bless her when she visits. Hand me a glass of orange juice. I'll tell her, oh, golly, it's morning now. That means I can turn over to the other side and it'll be dark in no time. Wake me when it's over. It makes her laugh because I always have something funny to say. I have a sense of humor. I'll sit there. You had a bad day. I'm going to take some chewing on this chocolate chip cookie. I am waving in front of you. I just made cookies. You want one? I'll wave it in front of General McConville right here. No? No, wait for a response. Well, I was going to eat it all anyway. I am going to make you forget and diet no more. That's after eating one of my cookies. You kids thought you were alone watching out those little rascals? They talk to you, don't they, in the fridge? Hey! Open my fridge. Come on. You know you want to look inside. I'm only a cookie. How's he gonna know? That goes without saying. The average favorite junk food snack. It talks to you. Hey, come on. You thought it was just your fridge? Oh, wait till you come over to Best or Dad's house. Even these books. God, how are you gonna know a book? Can't just judge a book without knowing it first. Oh, I wrote this song, by the way. There is someone out there who thinks it's cute offending a guy or harassing a guy the wrong way. Class clowns, some con artists with a record miles long, trying to get on base, willing to say anything to sneak into your house and steal from you. or what have you, that the law enforcement is dying to catch up and have an autograph with. Employment, like harassing employers, people keep people employed, even going to the church and supporting them, that makes it okay, right? Wrong. Trust me, there's always someone with a badge who watches YouTube. They don't take sides with con artists. They don't appreciate you loitering on someone's roof either, without their permission. Or harassing or preying upon families that just moved in from another country. That makes it okay to rip them off and run away with their money, right? No loss, no hard-earned living. Wrong. None of them all watch. That's why people, even those who speak Spanish, feel safe even at my house. If you ever need a roof, you're single, you're a woman, you have a family, they don't know where to go, you're at a church, just got married, what have you. Hey, he might open your door out of kindness for, knowing you're trying to make a living like everybody else. Maybe you should knock. All Navy SEAL teams. You thought it was just G.I. Jane? That guy's a real Navy SEAL, retiree, or still on. How do you know that, did you ask? I know his life story before he even knows. Uh-oh, he's smirking. Gosh darn, I thought it was just G.I. Jane instructor. Gee, make it called psychic. Who knows? I know more about most people than an average toilet seat, or even get off one. Where's Howard Stern's point of view? Stone cold, heck. Let me read this front page because it's very important in this. Let me see here. Taya and her family. I dedicate this book. It's written to my wife, Taya, and my kids for sticking it out with me thick and thin. Thanks for still being there when I got home. I also like to dedicate to the memory of my SEAL brothers, Mark and Ryan, for their courageous service to our country and their undying friendship to me. I will bleed for their deaths the rest of my life. I wrote there, all Navy SEAL team. Y'all thought it was just a bunch of old farts. You might want to wake up and drink some tea or coffee. I wrote this poem that night. I was thinking of what could I say to someone who's 6 feet under, who cared about his family and wrote this book on their behalf. That goes with Danny's dad. In my son's room is only 7. He lives out of state. He asked me one day when he's old enough, who's Danny? I'll tell him. KVK, son. I've never lost a friend who felt sorry for him or herself by cold hands of rain, of trails of sorrow, only to face a man who replaces cold with flames, of courage and hope, dedication, conviction, inspiration. Y'all taking a knee by now, seeming to pray out. Any closer, they'd be giving you a heart out for the rest of your dang life, as if you're a male. I hope you shaved in the morning if a Navy SEAL instructor boot-coot recruits is saying this in front of you. Hope to God he's not using a magnifying glass, because if you look like this, I don't think you shaved this morning. That's just an example of what dedicates and amuses me after coffee, looking at you with a wider face of expression. Maybe I should hold that piece of cup metal and swing it around on my arm till you get the hint. That's a sister standing in front of me. I think coffee just a deal there. Make it 10 cups. Don't open the door yet, darling. Make her sit out on the porch like the rest of us, and it'll be alright. It'll blow over real well. I feel for those with 10 brothers, heck. Oh, darn. What now? Carry on. Never felt sorry for himself or pitied soul remorse. As I write, pale moon in the pale moonlight. When you call upon, when all seems in soul felt lost, who do we call upon most? Your family, your friends, or God? We feel we many gather not in a third message of wind, of ignited sail, that ignites that such strength, sails in a pale moonlight. The messenger of man, of the God, a friend. We who walks with you, never against all you, who hold dear we many, who fight not for all, for ourselves, for all, for peace, for freedom, for our brothers, for all, everyone, mankind. Your prayers you are never alone left unanswered. He who stands in front of many never feels sorrow for himself. He who gives everything we all trust upon. Morale division. In God we trust. It says that on the first one, on the American dollar bill, the Washington dollar bill. God bless all who gave everything, all who served are serving. I'll never stop, never quit, never step back, never retreat. I believe in you. In our ancestry, it's not in tradition that we step back. We always move one step forward. There's no looking back. No giving up on anything, even jousting. I won't ever stop. I'll knock you off your horse. I'll keep trying until I knock something off. Thanks for the honor. Thanks for the horse. And still hold your hand, still give you a hug, still help you off the ground, win or lose. And still play chess with you. Even sit there and look at you and read the Bible. That's the kind of friend I am. That's integrity. There's no greater friend than one who gives his life for his own friend and puts everything on the line without second thought. I give advice because it works wonders. Whether you listen or not, well, like I said before, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Obviously, if a canine sees you eating the food, it's good. Same principle. Author's note. The events that happen in this book are true, recounted from the best of my memory. The Department of Defense, including high-ranking U.S. personnel, reviewed the text for accuracy and sensitive material. Even though they are clear the book for publication, this does not mean like everything they read. But this is my story, not theirs. We've reconstructed dialogue from memory, which means that it may not be word for word, but the essence of what was said is accurate. No classified information was used in this preparation of the book. The Pentagon's Office of Security, that you think watches my channel too, not just that brother President Obama over there. Our sector will still active duty SEALs, others are still working in different capacities for government protecting our nation. All may be considered enemies by our country, enemies, as I am. Because of that, I have not given their full identities in this book. They know who they are, and I hope they know they have my thanks. That goes without saying. This is Saudi Arabia, and up there's Iraq and Turkey and everybody else I have in prayers. A man of all religions, all races, all cultures, even sporting all of them families. Jesus was a fisherman of men. He did not learn fishing on his own, even carpentry. Someone taught him that, his dad. It's better to learn a new trade than cause ignorance. Ignorance does not pay. The same thing holding a sword. I do not live by the sword. It was 9 times out of 10 to be laying somewhere. I honor the integrity of who made the sword. It shows in the Bible, you weep what you saw. Same principle, same meaning. God bless the brave who gave all for peace. There is no greater friend than one who gives his life and puts everything on the line. That's me, right there. It's not my son when he comes of age. We'll read the same stuff. I carried this with me at St. James last weekend and blew away for people. Because you see the front cover, you think, wait a minute, did I see that movie? Did I even read that book? Because if you're military, chances are sooner or later you're going to get that book. And it's who's it by? With Jim Difflis and Scott McEwen, that's right. People who care about one another. Ta-da. Yeah. A man of many brothers and many friends. Care about one another. I broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I do it without a script. The day I use a script, Starbucks won't have any more coffee in the morning. It's going to be chaos. Stock market won't even move. Congress won't even be running. Paper dollar bills won't even be stamping. Legitimately, there's going to be a serious problem here. NASA won't even be afloat. Okay? People will be getting out of their graves. It won't just be the Living Dead show anymore. It'll be people who actually know you you'll be having a conversation with. One won't be just Rescue Me the show anymore, all by himself. The same platoon actor who sits you and shows you reality on what everyday life can be and for fire departments. What have you? You thought it was just him, Vanderpump, everybody else by themselves? No, I make those people feel used. They're not just a bunch of old farts on a wall like him up there. There are people who have 5 stars, 6 stars, Admiral, Pacific Fleet, Pearl Harbor actors, actresses, actually admirals who take their time to even act, not just Shakespeare, on a stage. Every day, every night, all of a sudden pause. Wait a minute, he knows me by face name. There's no way he didn't see that movie. He saw me acting in that movie and cares about me. I'm not just a person in a uniform. When it's all said and done, whose fireplace bachelor pad would like you to come over and feel at use once in a while? Obviously, that guy right there staring you down, making you feel young again. That when it's all said and done, you can barely walk with a cane. Know that you're not old. It's not the end of the world, and retiring means there's not an end. It's only a beginning. One door opens many. I show you even how to get a job. Just because there's no jobs here that define your description of resume, that doesn't mean there's not one not far away, 10 miles away. Even some move to another state just to keep that job. There are military bases who have civilian jobs. Who's to say you won't get one, even at a hospital or what have you, at the BX? At least you're working. It doesn't matter if it's Burger King. At least you have a job. It's a roof over your head. One step leads to many. It's a stepping stone, okay? You have to start somewhere. Make plans. This is where I want to be in 5 years. This is what I want to be doing 2 months, 9 months. Think about your kids, your family in front of you. Nobody's going to hold your hand. If you want someone to hold your hand, think of me. At least I'll be doing it in prayer with you. You sure as heck ain't alone. Now try that 9 times backwards after coffee. All that I just said. Okay. Like I said, this is based on the movie A True Story of Chris Cobb. God bless his wife and everybody else and their family at home on the Navy SEAL teams. Look out for me on occasion when they can. And they're not trading some square away hardworking brute who just mouthed off the wrong way or sat there and laughed in front of somebody. You forgot the essence of teamwork. You didn't watch G.I. Jane. What happens when you're laughing and that guy's sitting there talking in front of you? I don't think it's going to be a good day. You might want to rethink that over. Watch Demi Moore, Squid Away. Shows women what it's like joining the Navy SEALs. God bless her. Even those people I make feel use. Not just Lucas on Star Wars. He thought he was just an old fart in a chair. Oh, after directing all them Star Wars movies, he might want to rethink that grandfather Jr. over there. Everybody feels a use in my home. I treat you like family, like friends. I've known you for years, and I have cool points to circle the earth 3 trillion times over. I could make your robot do a tap dance if I wanted to with my software program system here. And she's a woman. Who knew that? And it would tell Fort Knox what to go do with itself and play chess at the same time with the amount of self-aware system she is. Even with mine. She's that cool, that piece of machinery. But then again, like I said before, you can't rely on technology for you, even with a pacemaker. For those of you who have pacemakers, it will fail one day, and you wish to God it'll keep trucking. Don't go out there and electrical storm. It's not a good idea. Especially near telephone poles. You got a pacemaker, I suggest you wait a little while longer for the storm to pass and take your arm pulse back outside. All done. That's all. Still taking knee. I'm about to say a prayer. Oh Lord, please watch over those serving or served, those who gave everything in the line to do the world in interest of peace. May God help me understand what wisdom means. May God help me understand what compassion means. For those who need me, those who leave me, who stand by me, those who stand by me in my squads, my platoons, my division, all over the world. May God watch over those who sacrifice day and night as much blood, sweat, cold, rain, shine, And everything I ever did for them, for me, for anyone, for the country, for the world, in the interest of peace. Remember, people, just because that person is from Japan, Korea, Saudi Arabia, that does not make them different or or what have you from whatever it is you ever come across. It makes them unique. Someone of purpose standing next to you. In God's eyes, we're all equal, wearing the same uniform. They know more than you do. I suggest you learn to make friends with them real fast, because when it comes down to it, they might save your rear end in a line of fire. You'll hope to God it's not just We Were Soldiers or Platoon or whatever favorite movie you ever watched in your whole brilliant career of military life. You hope to God when you wake up in the morning, you're not just looking at a drill sergeant having a hard on trying to figure out why you won't get out of that cot at 7 a.m. sharp to join your 100 men brothers standing next to you, because now they're forced to stay awake till midnight while everyone else is in bed wondering why they can't carry on for the rest of the day. Hope to God it's a miracle you understand what teamwork means, not just mouthing off only thinking of yourself. There are others before you, those who have come across your path in life. Treat them with dignity and respect, O Lord. May you show compassion and understanding. May you help them understand integrity is everything, for it defines your character. Your character is what people remember you as, not just a retired uniform, a bunch of awards and a rank, that's it, and a frame or a plaque. You hope to God that years later someone remembers what you did for this place, this country, this base, that someone knows you by name, by face. A man, a principal, a woman, a principal, a man of everything, a friend, somebody who cared about me, somebody who stood by me, not just in war-torn times, but in peaceful times too. Barbecue parties, you name it. Oh Lord, please help those who are deployed, those who are everything that ever gave importance to my life. May you help show what honor, duty, country, integrity means, O Lord. May you know that suicide and killing myself is not the answer here. Progressing and showing, making life count every day, every breath. If you can get outside and walk, you're blessed. Even wounded warriors, I support, O Lord. May you help them understand that just because you're in a wheelchair does not mean the end. It means you did your job, you sacrificed your time. There are people still serving in the military with one leg. It does not mean it's the end of the world. Seen Forrest Gump, take notes. People play basketball in wheelchairs. There are people who sign up for volunteer, Red Cross, what have you. Trying to be a part of society rather than against it. Do the right thing. Oh Lord, help me do that every day of my life. Because crime and anything else stupid and drugs just doesn't pay. Sooner or later you get caught. It don't matter if it's under a dang bunk bed or in the ceiling, tucked away. They will find it. And you will forget the day you were born, or wish to God you did better and start over. Even if you did something stupid, it's never too late to start new. Everyone deserves a second chance. Amen. Get up now. Carry on your day with that uniform. Remember, it's not just a uniform. It's not just a four-legged friend you're walking with or an MP. That's someone that cares for you and puts his life or her life on the line just as much as you do. They are God's animals. Treat them with respect and dignity. Don't take your frustration out on anyone at the end of the day. Take your hot pots to the gym. Take a walk, blow it off. Even learn a new sport. I play tennis. What's your excuse? Go boxing, whatever it takes. You know, don't just watching on UFC. God bless them, or WWF. They're favorites of mine. Pick up painting, heck. Learn a new hobby. There are people out there on the street who can find a roof over their head for $20. I did it years ago. There are people even envious of that. I think those who are try very hard day and night to keep me safe. The next Martin Luther King. Oh wait, I'm white. Does that make it okay to treat someone Muslim covered in Shia traditional robes different just because they know me or they're practicing a different religion? Would you throw rocks at them? What if that was me? Would I throw a rock? No. I would get to know them. Got a nice veil over your head. Yeah, you look real pretty, obviously. What's that book you're reading there? Obviously curious because, I'm not afraid to try new food, religion. You should stop by sometime. We'll do lunch. Yeah. I'm that kind of friend. I'll shake hands, have a conversation with a grizzly bear. Trust me, I know these things. Not just in movies you watch. Even guys, they're always coming from other countries wanting to learn new things, not just ping pong. They watch soccer, WWF. They know how to make a conversation on Xbox. They just as human, got God in them just as much as you do. They are unique. They don't know more things probably than you do about NASA or anything else. In God's eyes, we're all equal. We're His children. Exactly. Moving on. That's why I call you kids. They're just kids, especially those running a base. They run it, it's mine. Sing Braveheart, take notes. What's mine is mine. Now yours, mine. Okay? It's an island, it's mine. The Irish, they're mine. They just run everything. The castle, the Rome, same thing. Mine. They just run it. Opera shows, mine. Concerts, mine. Right down the singers. Them damsels thought they were alone. Stampede, Dolly Parton, even rain or shine in the mud. That's mine too. They just run. I support them in prayers. Not all talk. They come over too. Kentucky Derby, Dolly Parton, and everybody else. Get the bitch, you don't kick it. Track tour re-enlistment. Even signing up right in front of a hotwire. Special training exercise. Specialist Dominic Joyner, an engineer with the 15th Engineer Company, 19th Engineer Battalion, uses a unique setting during training with Marine tankers on Fort Knox to take an oath of re-enlistment given by Captain Shirley Hartman, Company Commander. For more on the 19th Engineer Battalion Marine Corps Joint Training, see page A3. Now, ain't that a photo here at Fort Knox that's supporting every other base in the U.S. and the world? And by the way, I meant last year, when it's all said and done and you Navy SEALs are retiring or leaving the military, y'all should drop by some nice cozy fireplace right here. Have myself a smorgasbord. It's not just presidents around the world that come by or ambassadors. They stop by too. Granted, that thing will make you work out for 5 logs. Hopefully they bring the logs once in a while. It'll make you sweat bullets before you even get a spark out of it. Trust me, there are fireplaces at houses you thought you knew were hard. Or campfires in the middle of Yellowstone National Park. No, seen Star Trek. Guy falling up the mountain, seen where but you'll get that. Then when it's done, then you wonder why it's burning so fast. And you wish it would come to God that it would slow down. Make Picasso want to come down and say, gosh darn, look at all those marvelous colors. Are they yours? Interesting. Try saying that backwards. Carrying on. There are things that people do in communities as much as volunteering. Okay. Joint training, tanker style, re-enlisting. As you can see, that's right. Marine Staff Sergeant Aaron Logan John, Exterior Marine Captain Christopher Rogers, Contact Class Veterans Company, M181 Tank and Capabilities Defense Operations. Prior questionnaires appeared even in mud, dirt, rain, or shine. Marine Captain Christopher Rogers discusses the depth of the defense position constructed by the Engineering Company Commander Captain Gerald Hartman, 15th Engineer Company, 19th Engineer Battalion. Led engineers from 15th Engineer Company and 42nd Engineer Company's Engineer Equipment Platoon, 19th Engineer Battalion walks with M1 intakes from U.S. Marine Corps Company East 14th Tank Battalion away inspecting 5 position engineer recently constructed. 15th Engineer Companies can dig a hole the likes you never seen on Earth. On the 42nd Engineer Company carrying on reading this engineer equipment platoon uses dozers to form a 200-meter anti-tank ditch that serves an obstacle for the enemy. The dozers also construct a 7-foot-high, 800-meter berm and uses dimensions suitable for tanks to create 4 vehicles fighting positions. The purpose of the beams are fighting positions to provide cover the tanks when they move up to fire the enemy and to provide an agreed route for the tanks. You see that? Now, granted, all over the world, I've been sitting here thinking, what more could I possibly need? And I sit there and think, I hope to God that anything I ever said on this show for years, that one, there are people out there know for heart that I care about them, regardless of where they've been, what they've been doing with themselves, what have you, what stars you're wearing. And I could be sitting there in front of Washington, the FBI, CIA, Interpol, and have the same conversation with a friend and be like, I'm glad you're working. And two, gosh darn, that's your dad coming down the hallway? I thought that was mine while I'm running. For what he's done for this country and working GS level in Washington, keeping people employed, budget cut. There are people out there who will try and steal your identity and do whatever it takes to commit fraud, even insurance fraud, car insurance fraud. You can steal your plates when you're not awake or running around with your head cut off using the same type of car. There are people out there who try very hard to use a scam to hurt you, and me and very many friends around here look out for stuff like that because they like keeping a community safe day and night. You may think I'm sleeping, but I'm actually not. There are people out there, even guardian angels, that look out for me and everybody else, and I pray real hard, especially that child that's listening to this, hoping that one day he'll have a dad like me and not go home, not having parents. He doesn't want Christmas, he doesn't want birthday gifts, he just wants a parent, him or her. Oh, God helps them find ones worthy of them. Keep writing, keep calling. You never know, kid. There's a parent prayer out there for everybody. Carrying on. Spotlight. Air Force supporting disaster relief to Nepal after 7.8 earthquake. The United States, Department of Defense, God bless all of them over there. Keep an eye on me too and everything else. Aircraft to Nepal and deliver personnel and cargo to support disaster relief operations, according to Pentagon spokesman Colonel Steve Warren. A magnitude 7.8 earthquake hit the country Saturday, reportedly leaving more than 4,200 dead and more than 7,000 injured. Thousands of people are currently reported to be without food, water, or shelter. This morning at approximately 11:18 a.m., the U.S. Air Force C-17 Glove Master, I know a couple of God bless them. All of you flight commanders, the aircraft transformers can't have it all. The aircraft was transporting nearly 70 personnel, including U.S. aid disaster assistance response team, the Fairfax, especially those in Hickam. Everybody else, Schofield, and God bless all you over there, I know, care about day and night, not just in the Bears. You thought it was just four walls, just you. Aw, who do you think is looking in on you from time to time? You thought it was just Star Trek movies? What the heck you thinking? Gosh darn, I didn't get around. Search and rescue team, several journalists along 45 square tons of cargo. The flight was expected to arrive at Tribune International Airport to Kathmandu, Nepal, Monday. According to one, the initial estimated cost for the U.S. Department of Defense support is approximately $700, and there are currently no additional requests. For Department of Defense support, officials said on background, at the time of the earthquake, there were 26 DoD personnel, one USC-130 in Nepal to conduct previously scheduled training exercises. All DoD personnel in Nepal are accounted for, officials said. Your fur-legged friend is also the one not just watching K-9 the movie or Marley and Me. On Dover Air Force Base, Delaware, Sunday, bound for Nepal. Jennifer Massey and her canine dog, Papayu, boarded U.S. Air Force C-17 Glove Massacre. From Fairfax, Virginia, serving as part of 69-person search and rescue team deploying to Nepal to assist in rescue operations after the country was struck by a 7.8 magnitude earthquake. First response. Spotlights, reading all their photos. That's her right there. God bless. St. Nice, a dog, four-legged friend. The spotlight. Don Joseph and some of the girls from Bluegrass Challenge Academy recently volunteered at Feeding America Kentucky Heartland. The group helps warehouse staff with various projects to support the local nonprofit, including packaging senior boxes, backpack bags, repacking items here at my bachelor house, supporting them in prayers. The girls are required to complete community service in order to graduate from the academy. Feeding America Kentucky Heartland feeds more than 134,500 hungry people each year through distribution to more than 200 food pantries, soup kitchens, and shelters in 42 Kentucky counties. Garrison Commander Sergeant Major Marcus Robertson speaks to Van Horace Elementary School students April 22nd Earth Day about the ways they can be good stewards to the environment. Robinson Smoky Bear, Van Boris Principal Sharon McCoy, Perkins student planted a Bradford tree by the school later that day in recognition of Earth Day. The GRCSS Army vision is to spearhead Army logistics transformation effort by providing audible enterprise business solutions that enables the Army to maintain its decisive combat edge. So Lieutenant Christopher Romero, Product Manager, Global Combat Support System, to accomplish this vision. The GCSS Army team has been supporting Fort Knox Logistics Readiness Center supply support activity LRCSSA in achieving this milestone. Fort Knox LRC is fielding Group 27 made up of 11 SS 5 tactical and 6 non-tactical SSA waves. Synchronize the data transfer between SRAR SS system and GCSS Army has been completed, and SSA is expected to open the door on April 27th to support its customer using this new system. Fort Knox LRC SSA has been recognized by the PM for the exceptional performance of duty and support of the product manager GCSS Army during the field operation. The Chief of Installation, Steve Searcy and Desiree Towns, presented certification appreciation notes from the Budget Analyst George Juice Decimal, SSA Accountable Officer Jeanette Gonzalez Morales, Sit Lead for the Knox LRC and Fielding Group 27. God bless him. Emmett Hawley, Fort Knox Deputy Garrison Commander, speaks to Matt Crew, General Manager of Amazon's Jeffersonville Fulfillment Center and Marine veteran, and other guests during a tour of the installation on March. Local employees visit Fort Knox to learn about where opportunities Knox and Transition Assistance Program, two programs designed to assist veterans in transition from active duty to civilian life, providing avenues for success in the workplace. April marks the nation's month of the military child. On April 15th, hence the anti-bullying I talked about earlier. Don't bully other kids. On April 15th, Military Kids Day, the nations took part in celebrating military kids wearing the color purple, and the 84th Training Command joined to show their support and thanks to all military children for their courage and selfless sacrifice in supporting their loved ones before, during, and after deployment. 4 members of the Fort Knox Pod View Garden Club, Rennet Gosser, Joel Skilly, Tracy Eaton, Bonnie Gunton, Eden Goss, and Grace Garner, Renee Combs recently helped with spring cleanup of Saunders Spring Nature Preserve off Wilson Road near Fort Knox. The ladies and one great grandson cleaned up the wildflowers beds, the bottom of the preserve, to prepare them for spring and healthy growth of wildflowers. That's all of them right there. God bless all those guys, those people who volunteer. Amen, chaos. Elizabethtown is a growing city community, as much as all the neighboring cities next to it. Fort Knox does a lot for folks. People give back in the Red Cross, support their local foundations. I support breast cancer awareness. UNICEF, that's just one of many Wounded Warriors programs. People in need, I'm not one to hesitate, especially when I see a wife crying, needing her husband who's wounded or needing some kind of help, even out of commercial, respond. My own words, even in prayer. Time is a precious resource to invest wisely, draws dividends. By Chaplain Lieutenant Colonel Timothy Walls. What would you do if someone gave you $86,400 and asked you to invest it? You only have that one day to do it, because at the stroke of midnight it would all disappear. Question yourself. I'm sure that most of us will do our best to seek out a financial consultant or someone we trusted to help us make the most of that investment. Did you realize that each day you and I are given something that is just as valuable for us to invest in? It has eternal dividends. It's called time. Every day, 86,400 seconds is deposited into your account for you to use as well, and you will. But at the end of that investment day, those 86,400 seconds will be lost to eternity. If we have not used them wisely, how are you investing those seconds, minutes, and hours of that precious gift at the time that God has given you? Once gone, time has never been regained again. It's not fretting about yesterday or worrying about tomorrow, but taking today as it comes and using it to the utmost. Corrie ten Boom, who was just put in Nazi prison for helping Jews during World War II, once said, "Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today in strength." Jesus said, "Therefore, don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow will worry itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Matthew 6-34 in the Holy Bible, if you read that part, Holman Christian Standard Bible. What Jesus wants from us is to focus on living in the present, but living present, being present as you live each day as it relates to the kingdom of God. In verse 33 of chapter 6, Jesus said that when we focus on the kingdom of God and that is righteous, that He will supply our needs. Matthew 6:33, making the most of your precious time and investing the family time. Together and having fun will gain you priceless dividends, taking the time for a walk in the neighborhood with the spouse and kids, allow for an opportunity for real communication and a great use of your time, having a family meal together with the TV, cell phones, iPhones turned off. For real people conversation, excellence, investment of your time. Mealtime can be a great time to find out how the rest of the family is investing their time. If you want to draw dividends from our lifetime, husbands should be investing time for their wives and wives for their husbands. The same is true for our children. Unfortunately, today's America, we spend a lot of money in our gadgets that are supposed to give us because there's the ways to invest our time, and yet they keep us from truly connected with one another. Susie texting mom, or Billy emailing dad, and the computers and TVs are taking our investments from us, and we are finding ourselves racially bankrupt at the end of the day. Making the time and taking the time with those that love will be best investment you can make in this life. Take time to be with your God through prayer, through worship. God desires that we use the time that He has given us wisely. It is a gift that He has given us to invest wisely. Time that you will do it with. Some folks say that others make it most wasted. Several kill it, and a few actually are on it. Many try to manage it, but end up losing it. One once heard, "If time flies, but remember, you are the navigator. You are in control of your life. You can change your life for the better or for the worse. There are no easy roads, only challenging ones." Adding on to that. 2015 Soldier Shows Honors Gold Star Families by Tim Hipp, U.S. Army Battalion Management Command. God bless all of you and that whole command. Y'all drop by for a night sometime. Everyone else does. Sometimes you'll catch me there at Burger King, or the church, or the main chapel, or the library. The film We Were Soldiers not only inspired the script of the 2015 favorite movie of mine, 2015 U.S. Army Soldier Show We Serve is also documented change in the way survivors of fallen soldiers were notified of the loss of their loved ones. Julia Compton Moore, wife of retired Lieutenant Colonel Hall Moore, was depicted in the movie by actress Madeline Stowe. I know where you live. Oh, I thought you knew me. Well, I know your last name, too. When survivors of fallen soldiers were notified of the loss of their loved ones, Julia Compton Moore, wife of retired Lieutenant Colonel Hall Moore, how about that, was depicted in the movie by actress Madeline Stowe. Again, her efforts in the aftermath of the Valley of Iodine Valley prompted the Army to establish survivor support network and casualty notification teams. A native of Fort Sill, Oklahoma, Compton was the only child of Colonel Lewis Compton and Elizabeth Boone Compton. At age 12, she began a lifelong journey in experiencing the separation risk of loss and war. Her father fought during World War II. Her husband served in both the Korean and Vietnam Wars. One of her sons fought with the 82nd Airborne Division. In Panama, in the Persian Gulf War, she graduated from Chevy Chase Junior College in Chevy Chase, Maryland, and attended the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill before marriage. Wherever her husband was stationed, she served as Brownie and Girl Scout leader in Cub Scouts. By the way, those two are out in forest trying to get donations in for cookies for you Girl Scouts out there. I support. God bless you. I'm a favorite of that man cookie. Carrying on. Girl Scout leader in Cub Scout Denmark. She also volunteered with the Red Cross and Army hospitals to support daycare centers and worked with wild clubs. Clubs ensured that better care was provided and this soldiers and their family. Moore was a major promoter of Army community service organizations that are now a permanent fixture in Army installations to assist soldiers and their families. Moore was a major proponent of Army community service organizations that are now a permanent fixture Army installation to assist soldiers and their families, and they sent them to a new duty station. The Ia Drang Valley was the first major ground engagement involving a U.S. force in Vietnam. And at that time, the Army had not established an adequate system of notifying the next of kin fallen warriors. Instead of telegrams were delivered by taxi cab drivers. Speaking of the movie, we were social like the film's depiction. Moore did actually assume responsibility for the delivery and telegrams. She also did, however, wrong with the cab drivers assisting in the death. Another thing, often grieving with the widows and families of men killed in battle. She also attended the funerals of those who fell under her husband's command. Her efforts were noticed at the highest level of the Commonwealth Defense. An example, she set prompted the Army to set up notification teams consisting of a uniform officer and a chaplain. Moore died on April 18, 2004, and is buried at Fort Benning Cemetery, Georgia, near her mother and father. God bless you and your family. And in the middle of the 7th Cavalry Troops, which her husband led at Ia Drang Valley in 1965. In 2005, they established the Julia Compton Moore Award that recognizes civilian spouses of soldiers for their outstanding contribution to the Army. The situation reads, Ms. Moore's actions to change the Pentagon's death notification policy in the aftermath of the historic battle at the Drang Valley represents a significant contribution to our nation. Prior to Ms. Moore's intervention, Pentagon policy was to notify families by a telegram delivered by cab drivers. It serves today as a shining example of one of Ms. Moore's many contributions to the moral welfare of the Army's family. The 2015 U.S. Army Soldier Show honored Gold Star families and the survivors of fallen warriors. The support they received from the U.S. Army Installation Management Command Survivors Outreach Service. We were working with Survivor Outreach Services actually spoke with 5 or 6 of the survivors and Victor Hordo, Soldier Show Artist Director. I asked them, how do you move on? And they said, we don't use that term, we use the term new normal. And I said, what does that mean? And they said, if we move on, that means we've left them behind. We just find a way to live with them physically here. Hurtado asked the survivor to put on paper that the new normal was between when they learned of their soldiers' death until now. Those words incorporated into the We Serve show happens. The after flag, Hurtado said, God bless the soldier salutes after handing a Gold Star survivor a notification of a next gen of fallen warrior during a distress rehearsal of the 2015 U.S. Army Soldier Show. We serve at the historic Fort Sam Houston Theater in San Antonio. See that? Amazing. Carrying on, I'm reading something since I also keep my local town paper here, news press, and the reporter and everybody else employed. The gold standard as much as them too. And nice handy dandy stuff that's mailed to me by some squared away caretakers. They know when Sarge is sleeping, he's not sleeping for his hell, he's just knocked the Camp Corral. Donate when you go to Golden Crown Dam for Camp Corral. It helps those guys, those kids get ready for summer camp at Camp Corral. Also, let me see here. The new enterprise, as you can see here in ElizabethTown, trading moon for moonshine. The topics here. Job seekers guide for regional career from more than 15 plus 10 event. Open their companies and industry area job seekers Thursday at a regional job center fair, Pritchard Community Center, with the first hour Jennifer Carmen from the Kentucky Career Center. More than 100 job seekers have come. Most of those Cody Reader lost his job Wednesday, and I'm just looking for real work. His strategy was apply. Within the first hour, he applied for 7 jobs and said he had other stuff to make around the room. It goes to show anything is possible if you put your heart and mind to it. That was at Pritchard Community Center in ElizabethTown. I wanted to read you something that was inspirational. Annual pancake breakfast, a big boost for charity. EasyTown Lions Club event this Saturday. EHS, that went off real well. Kentucky Derby, leave the selfie stick at home. Sandy Joy uses a selfie stick Saturday to take a picture of herself in New York, Times Square, Churchill Downs. The IRI Elizabeth track hosting the 141 running on the Kentucky Derby on May 2nd as banned selfie stick. Selfie stick. Kentucky Derby, as you know, goes with a tradition. If you ever watched Seabiscuit, the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. New Star Wars teaser cast information reveals there is a new movie coming out. Die Star Wars fan. And California by Lindsay Barr, AP film writer. The Force won't officially awaken until December, but Star Wars fans got an early glimpse Thursday with the debut of spooky new teaser trailer for Star Wars: The Force Awakens in December in theaters. The clip features the wreckage of a Star Destroyer, X-Wing battles, the Millennium Falcon in action, and first look at Harrison Ford as Han Solo. Chewie Warholm Solo says at the close of the brief teaser, prompting the audience to scream and applaud. Dire fans packed the main hall at the Huntington Convention Center for an event known as Star Wars Celebration. They wore costumes and little lightsabers to watch director J.J. Abrams and producer Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy kick off the 4-day event. Franchise cast newcomers Oscar Isaac, Daisy Ridley, and joined Bogus surprise the audience with appearance and regale their rap fans with anecdotes about the highly anticipated film set to hit the theaters December 18th. The fans were treated to a few morals of information. Even through the film remained cloaked in secrecy. Abrams, who was finishing the edit of the film, spoke about the love of the series and his insistence on keeping sets for new episodes as real as possible in the age of computer-generated images. The thing that struck me is how real you knew and felt Star Wars was when you first saw A New Hope. You said you wanted it to be legitimate, you wanted it to be authentic, building as much as could we really the mandate. Also real that the desert landscapes have been both teased the planet Jakku, not Tatooine. Seen the other episodes filming took place in Abu Dhabi. To get the John Ford landscape, a reference to the renowned director of westerns. It's a western and fairy tale as much as anything else. Renowned director of westerns. Western to Western and fairy tale as much as anything else. Abraham said The Force Awakens really in her character and scavenger who accompanies self-sufficient so attended she meets another character. The new teaser event see Rey meeting Finn, the character played by Borrego, who wears a stormtrooper suit and clips and in unspecific immediate danger. let me read on the next inspirational story here in Elizabethtown where I live. What caring father going on. Dave set for laughter. I have a story. State Theater. The Funny Bones will be ticketed with a trio of comics to take the stage for the Comedy Caravan Show Saturday night at the Historic State Theater in Elizabethtown. The show begins at 7:30 p.m. and will be headlined by Campbell, native Stuart Huff, comedian Joe Deuce. Also performing on the show will be immersed by comedian Rachel Goldman. Huff, who lived in Atlanta, has performed at the Comedy Festival in Montreal, New York. Boston and Atlanta HBO's U.S. Comedy Arts Festival. In addition, seeing HBO Comedy Central Huff was profiled in the documentary Road comic book Big Word. Deuce worked as student's life at Berry College Comedy on the other side a year ago. The Frankfurt David on the past year has toured America and also hosted by the college game show Dash for the Dollars Goldman is a fourth generation pawnbroker from the MSIG Queens. Material from her job Saturday event will be the 20th Comedy Caravan Show stage at the State Theater. Tickets cost $12 in advance and $15 at the door. To purchase tickets or for more information, call the state as to when new movies are being shown. Theater box office during 270-234-8258. Their office hours 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or go to the website historicstatetheater.org. Alright. Coming back. And we're gonna order Phillips the performance. Also to right. That's my home address. God bless Postal Service, keep employed, bar library. It's an amazing book and everything else. Also, member of St. James. Fifth Sunday, St. James Catholic Church. Check it out. If you're new here and you're looking for a place to live nearby, St. James Catholic Church. And see here. Infant baptism 6 times a year. Weekend masses are 2 p.m. through Sunday. Parent preparation session required after. At least offer quarterly rehearsal Thursday prior to baptism. One parent must be a registered member of the parish. Call 270-765-6268 for dates and registration. Marriage. Plan on getting married, couples must contact a priest or deacon at least 6 months in advance or to anticipate a date. Normally, one other person should be a registered member of the parish. For more information, call the office, parish office, 270-765-6268. St. James School, 270-765-6268 for enrollment. After school care, 270-763-4257. And masses. Saturday 5 p.m., Sunday 8 a.m., 10 a.m., and 12:15 p.m. 5 p.m. in Spanish. Hola, hola, ¿qué pasó? All you friends who are from Puerto Rico, Brazil, South America, Mexico, Omega, California, everywhere in the U.S. God bless you. Class have been a great year. Continuing on. John was the image of the vine to symbolize sacraments of the last weekend's Mass. John uses the image of the vine to symbolize a loving relationship amongst Father, Son, and Spirit between God and His people. As believers, we are grafted into the vine of Christ, a sure sign of our life and growth in the body of Christ. Jesus knew His audience well. Often He used everyday images to combine the loving relationship between God and humanity. The image of a fruit-bearing vine was deeply familiar to people. Using this common image, Jesus described that relationship between the Father, the vine grower Himself, the vine uses the branch, and the sap, the Holy Spirit, just as gardener pruned the vine's branches that it might bear fruit, so the Heavenly Father prunes us. The Greek word here for prune means literally to clean or purify. The goal is clear using it in bear fruit, which is mentioned 5 times in today's Gospel. The Gospel passage also speaks around about remaining in Jesus 8 times. When we bear good fruit, we disclose the living power of the resurrection power through Him to us. The Gospel leaves no doubt about what is expected of a disciple: much fruit. Jesus and the Christian remain in me that I may bear much fruit. Amen. So these are people I keep employed even in prayers. All these people right here. Not just in Clarksville, Fort Campbell. I keep a lot of people employed. If you ever know anyone or might need one of these, don't hesitate to call them. They can point you in the right directions of direction. Also, around here, there's this guy. Kind of a fat. God bless them. Everybody else I care about. Pizza. Domino's. Domino's here in ElizabethTown especially. There's also Denny's. There's no new restaurant there. I'll get you that. Gazillions. Gotti's. Gotti's restaurant here in ElizabethTown. You should try them out. Italian Pizzeria. Ta-da, I got their flyer. Thank you. They even have a Facebook page. Got $5 menu. Try it out. Glad. That's great. Okay, looking for one more. Stop here. Also, still reading Omar Bradley. God bless. It's general. Soldier illustrates military life, much more in his art. By Becca Owsley, Chief Warrant Officer, courtesy of the news enterprise that keep employed all those people and their families who live locally here in Elizabethtown. Chief Warrant Officer to Tony Grace combines his love of art and his love of the military in many pieces of his fine artwork. Sometimes people assume the painting of his Fort Knox office are pieces like the ones I saw it, thanks to caring senior friend, squared away, signature on it. Then they usually become more interested in the piece and ask questions about it. He said most of what he sells are commissioned pieces. He works in many mediums and prefers to do paintings in a natural setting, not pose portraits. Usually he paints from a photograph to be able to recreate details for the painting. If the photograph is digital, he can sometimes zoom in for details he's missed by just looking at the photo. Gray said he likes painting things that reflect the military's force, landscape, or anything else he's decided to try. He likes to capture military life and create pieces people can take with them to retirement when they move one another. Blitz artists tend to do what they have families with. He said, I like to try and push my skill level to see how far I can go, how detailed I can give, or the expressions on people's face. The painting is a personal and creates a great memories for Gray's art. It's relaxing. I can get carried away, he said. He sometimes thinks he's been working a couple of hours, only to find out he's been painting for 4 hours or more. It takes you to a place where you can relax. He said at times he's surprised seeing what the complete painting looks like from where he began. He said keeping work on it until it gets in shape. He said in the art his passion even teaches his wife what art is first love. I love to do something for somebody when they are excited about it, he said. See that painting? Oh, ain't that amazing painting? God bless. That icing on the cake he liked to learn from others and so new techniques even from the masters. When he was younger, he liked Salvador Dali. Later, learned likes the detailed work of Michelangelo and the old masters who produced beautiful works without the benefit of modern tools. Looking at the works of other artists can help people see the work and things others have done with art, he said. People don't always know the amount of work that goes into a piece of art, he said. It's not just a flat color And he added to the depths of the image, costs can be high because of the time it takes to craft pieces, because the buyer is getting them outright with no one else will have it. If they get a piece of art that's yeah, he said it's one of a kind, original. He likes the community, works together in art and business with his airbrush. He cleans out by Radcliffe helps with the spray coating. The zone has him help with t-shirt designs. If he can't do something, he usually refers them to another artist, vice versa. Everyone should be able to help each other, he said. Grades and fine arts together. The airbrushing, but the airbrush often is more busy made creations on helmets, bikes, cars, often scenes around town. It's a beautiful piece of art, he said. Even with airbrushing, he said, likes to create fine art, feel for it. Recently started airbrushing football and baseball helmets for two trophies rewards. He did a football for coach at St. Xavier High School. Elizabeth, the coaches liked it so much they ordered two more and used to charity hours. That rounded the surface of this helmet in a little different to paint on. He said, which part of airbrush piece is great wants the person who receives it, also something special to create a memory to take them with them. Then speaks volume to me, he said. Becca Ollie can be reached at 270-505-1741 or BollyTheNewEnterprise.com. God bless. ElizabethTown. Also carrying on. Let's see here. I was reading a lot. It remained that way for another 2 hours. Finally, gunfire rocked the stillness of the fort ships and the invasion fleet began bombarding shore defense. That attack was deafening. From what I just read, an HR has been set for 024:25 in the AM. Full darkness, a full tide to sandbars, unusual confusion. Or set back the timetable slightly, but Ranger Force X swarmed ashore in Gull around 0300. Blast from the rockets aboard one of their landing aircraft hit an ammo dump, causing an explosion that could be seen from Bradley's ship running a gamut of pillboxes. Minefields. The Rangers took the town, storming up a group of battalions in the Cathedral. Force X would repel counterattacks from Italian and German tanks. Units through the daylight hours holding firmly to the strategic spot. The first units from the 1st Infantry Division landed east of the town at a little past 3:30 a.m. The division found light resistance at first, though the men had to contend with the mines and other obstructions before moving off the beach. Their most difficult enemy was confusion. As long as the shallow approach to land made for complicated improvising between the large and small landing craft, but by the daylight the division was well on its way to its first day objective. The things were more difficult farther to the east. Scotland, the right hand of two coasts south. The 45th Infantry Division was disabled by mistake. The first landing craft hit the wrong beaches. The sand bars the way of smoke from the ship board guns. The assault was a typhoon of showers. Troops were landing in the wrong place. The beach masters closed beaches to new troops during the landing. A craft to hastily scout alternate units were split up. Plans changed to recharge, then changed again. Unfortunately, the defenders were as confused as the imaginary many fled cowards by big guns and support fleet. The landing succeeded with a minimal casualties. As confusion as the airborne invasion was, the parachute assault was more bedeviled. The 82nd Airborne Division, under Patton's direct command, had taken to land some 3,000 paratroopers around the Piano Loop north of Gela, cutting off any counterattacks and efforts to reinforce the forces near the beachhead. It was the first nighttime combat jump in American military history, which made it difficult The troops jumped into a wind estimated at 35 miles an hour, which made it even harder as the police force them got lost soon after takeoff, which made the mission impossible. Only one out of six parachutists landed close to where he was supposed to. About 200 managed to reach Piano Loop, and another 275 scattered around the area where the 1st Infantry Division was attacking. The rest were distributed around the island in a small bundle. Not the paratroopers spent much of their time on the first night, and the next day getting their bearings and organization. They saw, however, the dispersion of Silver Line. They were able to harass them in a small group of contributors to Axis force confusion. By the first experience of the invasion belonged to the 3rd Infantry Division, troops took the constant, virtually unopposed textbook landing, marching Ireland. They were greeted by children who flashed the V sign. Bradley spent a fateful day aboard the ship, sorting through the messages with his staff. He liked that. He'd been planning on going ashore by the first afternoon, but the hemorrhoid operation, the Polish said, he said, that's content himself with reading the different dispatches from the unit, speaking to his commanders by radio messenger. The overall picture seemed promising, but the distance from ship's land made everything feel unreal. Hanson worked at the general side. Most of the day said the ship felt unnaturally safe. It was as if the war only truly existed on shore. The Navy bombardment continued throughout the day. It was so intense Bradley could feel the pounding beneath his feet, and he walked on the deck even though his ship had no guns to fire. He kept pacing the war room that had been turned into his temporary command post, wanting to get ashore. He finally sent a Hanson in his place. The young Abe was amazed by the confusion and baffled where he saw that many of the houses had somehow survived the bombardment without being damaged. But the overall impression he came away with was positive. The beach had been firmly established. Turning page, yeah. Coming back to the ship, he reported to Hanson started across the hastily positioned gangplank. He missed his footing in the dark, falling. His managed to grab on the Jacob's ladder, festival ladder at the side of the vessel, and down for a just such emergency. Got full bath none. Made his report ring wet. General said, I recommend you spend the night ashore. Why wanted Bradley? It's much safer. The ship's sure to be bombed. Bradley laughed and told him not to worry. Bradley made it ashore early the next morning, July 11th, riding from an LCP, then transferring to Duke WP. That took him into Scotland. He had to sit on a life preserver to spare his soul wounded backside. The Duke's WP would prove to be one of the most invaluable vehicles of the war. They were also the strangest looking. They might be best described as a boat with truck chassis built to the bottom of manufacturing. By General Motors, the dock measured 31 feet long and about 8 feet wide. The pressures in the tire could be adjusted from inside the open cabin at first plunging from the soft sand of the beach to the hard road. The Duke W driver would adjust the tire pressure, allowing ungainly look amphibious vehicle to drive on the road nearly as well as truck. The vehicle was slow on the water and not particularly speedy on land, but virtually was unmatched. Bradley found the center force, each confusing just one single light belts, another to set up from Parmelia were scattered in the serpent's hand, but confident the light resistance will allow the division to pull itself together without too much trouble. He had made his way west together with the 1st Infantry Division in Atlanta. The scene became grimmer as he went. Dead bodies had burned. Trucks lined by the road, the left waft through the vastly outnumbered attempted to attack the invaders of their ships, buzzing dangerously overhead. Bradley arrived at the division command post just as the Hermann Goring Panzer Division was a counterattack trying to show their best. Big Red one back into the C Division short of artillery. Anti-tank unit facing assault by the two different elements of German panzers. So we'll stop right there. Up next, children's bedtime story. I'm gonna know half people in Alaska are not even asleep. The sun's still out half the year. So they should help y'all get to sleep, especially those kids. My son's probably taking a nap out of state in Florida. I miss him a great deal, being a single dad, lives here. Caring for the world at my big old house in here in E-Town, and I Goes without saying, keep everybody in my prayers and those who look out for me and my stuff and everything else. So I look out for them day and night without question. Hope y'all having a great day. Remember to keep your chin up. If anybody understands what you're going through, it's God. Cares. Especially the theater, local theater, Waiver Theater, and everybody else here, the Historic Theater, the town next to it, and so forth. All over the world, much love. God bless you. Stay hydrated. Watch their health. After all, your health must come first.